In the 21st century, conspiracy theories have not only survived but thrived in an age dominated by social media, internet forums, and viral videos. Whether it's a belief that the moon landing was staged, or the idea that world leaders are actually shape-shifting reptilians, conspiracy theories capture our imaginations and spark heated debates. They offer simple explanations for complex events and provide a sense of control or understanding in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. But what makes conspiracy theories so captivating, and why do so many people cling to these ideas despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary? From the days of the Illuminati to the rise of QAnon and beyond, the digital age has given these theories unprecedented visibility and reach. In this script, we will delve into some of the most bizarre and outlandish conspiracy theories of the 21st century, exploring their origins, the claims they make, and the ways they've been spread. One of the most enduring conspiracy theories of the 20th and 21st centuries is the belief that the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969 was faked. Despite photographic and video evidence, the testimonies of astronauts, and the presence of scientific equipment on the moon that can still be studied today, millions of people worldwide continue to believe that the United States government staged the moon landing to win the space race against the Soviet Union. The moon landing hoax theory gained traction during the 1970s and 1980s, but it was in the 21st century, fueled by the internet and documentaries, that it became a true cultural phenomenon. The main arguments presented by moon landing hoax proponents focus on perceived anomalies in the footage and photos taken by the astronauts during their missions. Some of the most common claims include: the waving flag conspiracy theorists argue that the American flag planted on the moon appears to be waving, which contradicts the idea that the moon has no atmosphere and cannot produce wind, no stars in the sky. Skeptics point out that in the photos taken on the lunar surface, there are no stars visible in the sky. They argue that this absence of stars is proof that the photos were taken in a studio, where stars would not be visible. The lighting and shadows. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the lighting in the photographs is inconsistent. They claim that multiple light sources, such as studio lights, could not have produced the shadows and highlights seen in the pictures, implying they were artificially created. NASA has long refuted these claims, providing scientific explanations for each alleged inconsistency. The flag's wave is simply a result of the way it was handled in the vacuum of space. There is no wind, but the flag moves because of the way it was planted and the lack of gravity. The absence of stars is due to the camera's exposure settings, which were adjusted for the brightly lit surface of the moon. As for the lighting, it is explained by the single light source, the sun, which casts shadows in multiple directions due to the uneven lunar surface. Despite these logical counterpoints, the moon landing hoax theory persists, largely due to the way it has been amplified by social media and documentaries. A well-known documentary, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, created by filmmaker Bart Sibrel, is a key piece of media that has influenced many skeptics. Why does this theory continue to thrive even in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary? Part of the reason lies in the human tendency to distrust authority, especially government agencies. The moon landing represents a monumental achievement by NASA and the US government, and for some, it is difficult to believe that such a monumental event could be real without some kind of deception behind it. Conspiracy theories like these provide an alternative narrative to what is accepted as the official story, offering a sense of mystery and intrigue. Additionally, the internet has allowed for like-minded individuals to form communities that amplify these theories. From online forums to YouTube videos and podcasts, the narrative that the moon landing was faked has continued to spread, drawing in new generations of conspiracy theorists. The moon landing hoax theory also touches on a deeper cultural phenomenon, the distrust of the media and authority. The theory became a symbol of rebellion against the official story, and in the age of post-truth, when misinformation is rampant, it resonates with people who are skeptical of everything they hear from the media, especially when it comes to large-scale government operations. The lunar landing conspiracy theory has been referenced in countless movies, TV shows, and books. Popular culture has embraced the notion that the moon landing was a fabrication, further cementing the idea in the minds of millions. Films like Capricorn 1, 1978, which depicted a fictional faked mission to Mars, and television shows like The X-Files continue to reinforce the notion that governments are capable of elaborate cover-ups. In recent years, the Moon Landing Hoax theory has gained new life through viral videos and online movements. YouTube is home to many channels that promote various conspiracy theories, and the Moon Landing Hoax is no exception. These videos often show snippets of the original footage, dissecting each frame to highlight what theorists believe to be inconsistencies. Some even suggest that the rise of private space companies, such as SpaceX, is part of a broader government strategy to distract the public from the original hoax, perpetuating the belief that our space missions are still part of a greater cover-up. Despite the lack of any credible evidence to support the theory, it remains popular, especially among those who view it as emblematic of a larger skepticism towards governmental transparency. In the early 21st century, the flat Earth theory made a surprising comeback. Although this idea had largely been dismissed by the scientific community for centuries, the advent of social media and online platforms has allowed this conspiracy to gain significant traction in recent years. The flat Earth theory proposes that the Earth is not a rotating sphere, but a flat disk. Proponents of the theory argue that evidence supporting a spherical Earth, such as photos of the planet taken from space, are fabricated or part of a massive conspiracy to conceal the truth. Flat Earth theorists have created their own evidence to support their beliefs, such as pointing out how the horizon appears flat when observed from the ground, or the way water behaves in large bodies, which they argue doesn't match what would be expected on a spherical planet. Flat Earth beliefs began to flourish in the 2000s, with the rise of YouTube, forums, and social media platforms, where like-minded individuals could find each other and share their ideas. Influencers such as Mark Sargent, who produced the YouTube series Flat Earth Clues, have built entire communities around the idea that the Earth is flat. These online communities have been instrumental in pushing the theory into the mainstream, albeit in a niche way. The internet's role in amplifying fringe ideas cannot be overstated. In previous decades, the flat Earth theory was the domain of a small number of people with fringe beliefs. Today, it has reached a much larger audience thanks to viral videos, articles, and social media posts that spread the theory to a new generation. The flat Earth theory appeals to people who are deeply skeptical of scientific institutions. The claim that space agencies such as NASA are part of a global conspiracy to hide the true shape of the Earth plays into broader narratives of mistrust toward government and science. Many adherents believe that the truth has been hidden from the public for centuries, and that the current scientific consensus is part of a broader cover-up. Additionally, flat Earth theories often evoke feelings of empowerment. Believers are led to feel that they are part of an exclusive group of truth seekers, with knowledge that the general public and the scientific community have been deliberately misled about. Scientists and educators have long debunked flat Earth claims. Evidence from astronomy, physics, and geography clearly shows that the Earth is a sphere, and no credible scientific body supports the flat Earth theory. Yet the persistence of this belief demonstrates the power of the internet in enabling the spread of misinformation, as well as the psychological appeal of conspiratorial thinking. Chemtrails, short for chemical trails, are often cited by conspiracy theorists as evidence of a covert government operation to spray harmful chemicals into the atmosphere, ostensibly for purposes such as population control, weather manipulation, or mind control. This theory suggests that the white streaks left behind by airplanes, known as contrails, are actually chemicals intentionally dispersed into the sky. The chemtrail theory emerged in the late 1990s after widespread reports about unusual persistent contrails left by jets. Contrails, short for condensation trails, are simply visible trails of water vapor that form when hot exhaust gases from aircraft engines mix with the cold air at high altitudes. However, conspiracy theorists argue that these contrails are part of a massive government conspiracy to control the population or manipulate the climate. Proponents claim that the trails left behind by airplanes are not normal contrails, but chemicals sprayed to control the weather, alter human consciousness, or even alter the environment. Various theories suggest that the spraying is part of a secret government or military program, such as weather modification, biological warfare, or population control. Persistent contrails. Chemtrail theorists point to the fact that some contrails linger for hours, spreading out across the sky and sometimes forming a hazy cloud cover. They argue that these persistent contrails are proof that the trails are made of chemicals, not just water vapor. Unusual weather patterns. Some believers in chemtrails claim that unusual weather patterns, such as droughts or severe storms, are the result of chemical spraying. They argue that governments or organizations are deliberately manipulating weather patterns for geopolitical or economic gain. Health concerns. Another popular claim is that the chemicals in chemtrails are causing a wide variety of health problems, from respiratory issues to neurological disorders. Some theorists suggest that these chemicals are being sprayed to cause widespread illness or even control human behavior. Meteorologists and scientists have consistently debunked the chemtrail theory. Contrails form when water vapor from aircraft exhaust condenses in the cold upper atmosphere, and the reason why some contrails persist longer than others has to do with atmospheric conditions such as humidity and temperature at altitude. There is no evidence to suggest that airplanes are deliberately spraying harmful chemicals into the atmosphere. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, NASA, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, have all stated that the chemtrail theory is without scientific merit. The visible trails left behind by airplanes are simply a natural result of the jet engine's interaction with cold air, not evidence of a secret government program. Moreover, there has been no credible scientific study that supports the idea that chemtrails pose a risk to public health or the environment. In fact, regular atmospheric testing and environmental monitoring have found no unusual chemical contaminants in the air that could support the theory. Despite the lack of evidence and scientific debunking, the chemtrail theory has persisted, especially in online communities and conspiracy theory circles. The idea that the government or powerful elites are hiding something from the public resonates with a deeply ingrained distrust of authority. Chemtrails, like many other conspiracy theories, offer a simple explanation for complex phenomena, in this case, the unusual weather patterns or health problems some people experience. Additionally, the rise of social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube has made it easier for chemtrail theorists to connect, share information, and validate each other's beliefs. The viral nature of social media allows these theories to spread rapidly and be amplified by like-minded individuals who confirm and reinforce each other's suspicions. The spread of chemtrail beliefs is also influenced by the historical context of governmental secrecy. In the wake of the Cold War and various government cover-ups, such as the MKUltra mind control experiments, some people are predisposed to believe that similar operations are ongoing. Conspiracy theorists often see chemtrails as the latest chapter in a long history of government deception. The chemtrail theory, like many other conspiracy theories, provides adherents with a sense of control or understanding in an unpredictable world. Many chemtrail believers claim to be awake to a hidden truth, allowing them to feel empowered in the face of what they perceive as a larger, unseen threat. This feeling of being part of an enlightened group can be emotionally satisfying, especially when they feel that the mainstream media and scientific community are part of a cover-up. Moreover, the chemtrail theory can be linked to broader anxieties about the environment, climate change, and government control. In a world where weather patterns seem increasingly unpredictable, and many people feel disconnected from the natural world, chemtrails offer an alternative narrative, one that ties human agency directly to weather phenomena and atmospheric conditions. The chemtrail theory remains widespread, especially on social media and in certain online communities. It is often propagated by viral videos and internet influencers, some of whom have made significant careers out of promoting conspiracy theories. While many mainstream outlets dismiss chemtrail theories as pseudoscience, their influence in certain circles is undeniable. This serves as a stark reminder of the power of the internet in amplifying fringe ideas and the challenge of countering misinformation in the digital age. One of the most recent conspiracy theories to capture widespread attention is the idea that 5G technology, the latest generation of cellular network technology, has nefarious purposes. The theory, which gained momentum in the early 2000s, suggests that 5G is not just about faster internet speeds and improved connectivity, but that it may have dangerous health effects, alter human consciousness, or even be used as a tool for mass control. Health concerns. A central aspect of the 5G conspiracy theory is the belief that the electromagnetic fields, EMFs, generated by 5G technology are harmful to human health. Some theorists claim that 5G radiation could lead to cancer, neurological disorders, or even DNA damage. This fear is fueled by the idea that the technology is being rolled out without sufficient testing to determine its long-term effects. Mind control and surveillance. Another common claim is that 5G technology will be used as a tool for government surveillance and control. Proponents of this theory argue that 5G will be used to track individuals, control their behavior, or even alter their thoughts through remote manipulation of their brainwaves. COVID-19 connection. Perhaps the most bizarre and far-reaching version of the 5G conspiracy is the belief that 5G networks are responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic. Some theorists argue that the rollout of 5G coincided with the rise of the pandemic, leading to the belief that the virus itself was somehow a result of 5G radiation, or that 5G technology weakens the immune system, making people more susceptible to the virus. While 5G technology is relatively new, it is important to note that the science behind electromagnetic radiation has been extensively studied. The World Health Organization, WHO, and the US Federal Communications Commission, FCC, have both stated that 5G, like previous generations of cellular technology, operates within established safety guidelines for electromagnetic exposure. The radiation emitted by 5G technology is non-ionizing, meaning it does not have enough energy to remove electrons from atoms or molecules, and thus cannot directly cause the damage associated with ionizing radiation, such as X-rays or ultraviolet light. In fact, there is no credible scientific evidence to support the claims that 5G radiation causes cancer or any other serious health problems. As for the mind control and surveillance claims, there is no evidence to suggest that 5G can influence human behavior in any way. The frequencies used by 5G networks are not capable of affecting the brain in the ways theorists suggest. Additionally, 5G networks are designed to improve internet speeds and connectivity, not to monitor or control individuals. Despite the lack of evidence, the 5G conspiracy theory has flourished on social media and among certain groups. The theory became especially popular during the COVID-19 pandemic, when fears about the virus, government control, and technological advancements converged. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube played a central role in amplifying misinformation, with viral videos and posts claiming links between 5G and COVID-19 spreading widely. The theory has also been fueled by a deep mistrust of technological advancements, particularly when it comes to issues of privacy and surveillance. The rapid rollout of 5G has led some people to feel that they are being forced into a new era of technology without adequate consideration of potential risks. At its core, the 5G conspiracy theory taps into broader fears about technology, surveillance, and government control. In a world where data privacy is increasingly threatened and technology companies hold vast amounts of personal information, it's easy for people to believe that new technologies like 5G may be used for sinister purposes. The idea that 5G is linked to a global agenda of control, whether it's surveillance, mind manipulation, or even population control, offers a sense of certainty and coherence for those who are skeptical of the rapid pace of technological change. It provides a narrative that ties together a variety of fears about the future, making it an appealing conspiracy theory for some. One of the most prominent conspiracy theories of the 21st century is QAnon, a far-reaching and deeply entrenched belief system that suggests a secret cabal of elites controls the world and manipulates events to their advantage. At the heart of the QAnon movement is the idea that a mysterious figure, known only as Q, is leaking information about this hidden group and exposing a global conspiracy. The movement, which gained significant momentum during the 2016 US presidential election, has continued to grow in influence and has been linked to real-world political events, including the storming of the US Capitol in January 2021. QAnon traces its origins to the fall of 2017, when an anonymous individual or group, claiming to be a high-ranking government official with access to classified information, began posting cryptic messages on the online forum 4chan. These messages, known as Q-drops, contained references to a hidden war between President Donald Trump and a deep state of elites who secretly control the world. Over time, these posts were interpreted and expanded upon by followers, creating an elaborate narrative that suggested that a cabal of Hollywood celebrities, politicians, and business leaders were involved in illegal activities such as child trafficking, satanic rituals, and more. Central to the QAnon narrative is the belief that Donald Trump, in cooperation with military intelligence, is fighting against this cabal. Many QAnon followers believe that Trump is actively working to expose the deep state and bring justice to the corrupt elites. According to the movement, a great awakening is imminent, and the public will soon learn the truth about these powerful individuals and their illicit activities. Some of the most enduring claims of the QAnon movement include the deep state. QAnon followers believe that a shadowy group of elites, including members of the US government, global leaders, intelligence agencies, and corporate magnates, controls world events and political outcomes. This deep state is often portrayed as a malevolent force working to undermine democracy, manipulate elections, and maintain a stranglehold on power. Pizzagate. One of the more infamous offshoots of the QAnon theory is the Pizzagate scandal, which claimed that a Washington, D.C. pizzeria was the center of a child trafficking ring involving high-ranking politicians. Despite the complete lack of evidence for these claims, many QAnon believers adopted this as a central part of their ideology, with some claiming that the storm, a term used by QAnon followers to describe the Day of Reckoning, would reveal the truth about these alleged crimes. The storm and the Great Awakening. QAnon followers believe in the eventual arrival of a day known as the storm, when President Trump will reveal the truth about the deep state and arrest its members. The Great Awakening refers to the belief that the public will soon be awakened to the truth and that the world will undergo a radical transformation as a result. QAnon has spread largely through social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, where followers share Q drops, analyze the messages, and create their own content to spread the narrative. The internet has allowed QAnon to gain a large and passionate following, with believers using hashtags and viral videos to spread the theory across various platforms. In addition, QAnon followers have been known to create and share memes, engage in online discussions, and post speculative content that further fuels the movement. The use of memes and cryptic language has allowed QAnon to thrive in spaces that may otherwise be skeptical of traditional conspiracy theories. It also offers a sense of camaraderie for those who feel alienated by mainstream media and traditional political ideologies. The QAnon movement was especially active during the 2020 US presidential election, with many followers believing that the election was part of an elaborate plot by the deep state to prevent Donald Trump from retaining office. The movement spread misinformation about the election process, alleging widespread voter fraud and pushing the narrative that Trump was secretly winning the battle against the deep state. After the election, QAnon followers clung to the belief that Trump would ultimately prevail and that the storm was imminent. When these predictions failed to materialize, the movement fractured, but many adherents remained loyal to the cause, further strengthening their conviction that the truth was being hidden from the public. One of the most significant real-world consequences of the QAnon movement was the storming of the US Capitol on January 6, 2021. Thousands of individuals, many of whom were QAnon supporters, breached the Capitol building in an attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election and prevent the certification of Joe Biden's victory. In the days leading up to the riots, QAnon followers had spread false claims about election fraud and called for action to stop the steal. The attack on the Capitol was widely viewed as the culmination of years of conspiracy-laden rhetoric, and it highlighted the extent to which the QAnon movement had become a powerful force in American politics. The widespread appeal of QAnon can be explained by several psychological factors. First, the movement provides a sense of belonging for individuals who feel marginalized or disillusioned with mainstream society. QAnon followers often describe themselves as part of an elite group that is privy to hidden truths about the world. This sense of exclusivity can be deeply empowering, as it creates a feeling of importance and purpose. Additionally, QAnon offers a simple and coherent explanation for complex global events. By framing the world as a battle between good, Trump and his followers, and evil, the deep state, QAnon provides a narrative that is easy to understand and emotionally satisfying. It also appeals to a desire for justice, as followers believe that exposing the deep state will bring about a reckoning for the world's most powerful figures. Despite repeated debunkings and warnings from authorities, QAnon remains a powerful force, especially in certain online communities. Its ability to weave together political events, falsehoods, and esoteric beliefs into a unified worldview has made it difficult for many followers to disengage. Even after the events of January 6th, the movement continues to thrive in certain circles, with some proponents claiming that the storm is still coming and that Trump will one day be vindicated. The psychological appeal of QAnon, combined with the power of social media to amplify misinformation, means that this conspiracy theory is likely to remain relevant for the foreseeable future. The movement's ability to tap into deep-seated fears, anxieties, and distrust of government institutions ensures that it will continue to capture the imagination of millions of people.
One of the more bizarre and enduring conspiracy theories of the 21st century is the belief that world leaders, celebrities, and other influential figures are not human, but rather shape-shifting reptilian aliens. According to this theory, these reptilian beings have infiltrated human society and are secretly controlling global events, governments, and economies. The reptilian conspiracy theory was popularized by former footballer and conspiracy theorist David Icke in the 1990s. In his book, The Biggest Secret, Icke claimed that a race of reptilian aliens, referred to as the Anunnaki, had infiltrated Earth and were secretly controlling humanity. According to Icke, these reptilians had the ability to shapeshift into human form and used their powers to manipulate world events for their own benefit. Shape-shifting reptilians. The central belief of the reptilian theory is that many of the world's most powerful figures, including politicians, royalty, and celebrities, are actually shape-shifting reptilian aliens. These reptilians, according to the theory, can assume human form but are secretly working to enslave humanity and manipulate global events, the New World Order. The reptilian conspiracy is often linked to the idea of a New World Order, a shadowy elite group working to establish a global, totalitarian government. According to believers, the reptilians are part of this cabal and use their influence to shape world events, including wars, economic crises, and the manipulation of political systems, bloodlines, and genetics. Another common element of the reptilian theory is the idea that certain bloodlines, often royal families or political dynasties, are descended from these alien reptilians. Some adherents believe that these bloodlines have been carefully preserved and passed down through generations to maintain the reptilian control over Earth. The idea that powerful elites are not human but instead extraterrestrial beings taps into deep fears of control, manipulation, and dehumanization. The theory is deeply conspiratorial and offers a way to explain the behavior of world leaders and the complexities of geopolitics in simple, almost fantastical terms. Like other conspiracy theories, the reptilian theory also provides a sense of empowerment for those who believe they have uncovered a hidden truth. Adherents of the theory see themselves as being part of an enlightened group that understands the true nature of world events, while the general public remains oblivious to the reality. The reptilian theory, like many conspiracy theories, provides a narrative that simplifies complex events and offers an explanation for the perceived injustices of the world. In a time of political upheaval, economic uncertainty, and global conflict, the idea of a shadowy alien elite pulling the strings behind the scenes can be emotionally satisfying for those seeking answers. Despite the complete lack of evidence to support the reptilian theory, it has gained a significant following, particularly among online conspiracy communities. The theory has also been incorporated into popular culture, with references to reptilian elites appearing in movies, television shows, and video games. The Mandela Effect is a phenomenon where a large group of people remember an event or detail differently from how it actually occurred, often with such conviction that they believe their memories to be the true reality. The name Mandela Effect comes from the widespread false memory that Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s while he was still alive. The theory has gained significant popularity, with many people speculating that these memory discrepancies are proof of alternate realities or parallel universes. The term Mandela Effect was coined in 2009 by Fiona Broome, a paranormal researcher, after she discovered that many people, including herself, falsely remembered Nelson Mandela's death in the 1980s. Broome noted that many people shared this same false memory and began investigating the phenomenon. The concept quickly grew into a widespread theory, with others reporting similar instances where they recalled events, names, or objects differently from how they were in reality. Some of the most famous examples of the Mandela Effect include the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears. Many people remember the popular children's book series as the Berenstain Bears with an E, but the official spelling has always been Berenstain Bears with an A. Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes. Some recall the classic animated series as Looney Tunes, but the correct name is Looney Tunes, the Monopoly Man's monocle. A significant number of people are certain that the Monopoly Man, the mascot of the board game, wears a monocle, but in reality, he never has. The location of New Zealand. Some people swear that New Zealand is located to the northeast of Australia, when in fact it lies to the southeast. Mirror, mirror on the wall versus magic mirror on the wall. Many recall the famous line from Snow White as mirror, mirror on the wall, but the actual quote is magic mirror on the wall. There are several theories that attempt to explain the Mandela Effect. The most prominent one suggests that the phenomenon is the result of alternate realities or parallel universes. According to this theory, individuals who experience the Mandela Effect are somehow remembering events from a different timeline or dimension. Another theory posits that time travel may be responsible for the discrepancies in memory. Proponents of this idea argue that time travelers may have altered key events in history, resulting in the changes in collective memory. Some go even further, suggesting that powerful organizations or entities, such as government agencies or extraterrestrial beings, are deliberately manipulating reality to cause these shifts in memory. Some believers in the Mandela Effect also attribute the phenomenon to the idea that the human brain is somehow interacting with the fabric of reality in ways that science has yet to fully understand, creating memory glitches as a result. From a psychological perspective, the Mandela Effect can be explained as a result of cognitive biases and the limitations of human memory. Memory is not a perfect recording device, and people are prone to distortions and inaccuracies, especially when recalling details from the distant past. This is known as the misinformation effect, where people incorporate incorrect information into their memories, often influenced by outside sources such as media, social groups, and popular culture. The spread of the Mandela Effect on the internet further reinforces these false memories. When people hear that others share similar false memories, it can strengthen their belief that they are not mistaken. This phenomenon is related to social contagion, where beliefs, ideas, and behaviors spread within groups, often leading individuals to adopt opinions and memories that are not based on their personal experiences. The internet also plays a significant role in amplifying the Mandela Effect. Online forums, social media groups, and YouTube videos dedicated to the theory have allowed people to share their experiences and compare memories. This sense of community can create a feedback loop where individuals' false memories are reinforced and validated by others. The events of September 11, 2001 forever changed the world and set the stage for significant political, social, and economic shifts. However, alongside the widely accepted narrative of the terrorist attacks orchestrated by Al-Qaeda, a persistent conspiracy theory has flourished, one that suggests the US government itself was involved in planning or facilitating the attacks. The 9/11 inside job theory claims that the destruction of the World Trade Center towers, the Pentagon attack, and the crash of United Airlines Flight 93 were all part of a covert government operation. Controlled demolition of the Twin Towers. One of the central arguments of the 9/11 inside job theory is that the Twin Towers were brought down by controlled demolition, rather than by the impact of the hijacked planes. Proponents of this theory point to the way the towers collapsed, symmetrically and at free-fall speed, as evidence of pre-planted explosives. The Pentagon attack skeptics of the official narrative claim that the Pentagon was not struck by American Airlines Flight 77, but instead was hit by a missile or a military aircraft. They argue that the lack of plane wreckage at the Pentagon site is suspicious and inconsistent with the size of the aircraft. Flight 93 and the crash site. Conspiracy theorists also question the official story regarding United Airlines Flight 93, which crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Some believe that the plane was shot down by the US military to prevent it from reaching its intended target, while others suggest that the crash was part of a larger plan to stage the hijacking and crash. The 9/11 inside job theory gained momentum in the years following the attacks, particularly after the release of the 2004 film Loose Change, which presented a series of arguments supporting the idea that the US government orchestrated the events of 9/11. The film, along with other documentaries and books, helped popularize the theory and sparked widespread debate about the official narrative. Online platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, and websites dedicated to alternative history have played a major role in spreading the 9/11 inside job theory. These platforms have allowed individuals to share evidence, postulate new theories, and connect with others who share their views, giving the conspiracy a wider audience and greater influence. While the 9/11's inside job theory has captivated many people, there is no credible evidence to support the idea that the US government was involved in the attacks. In fact, numerous investigations, including the official 9/11's Commission report, have found no evidence of a conspiracy or intentional government involvement in the attacks. The collapse of the Twin Towers, for example, has been thoroughly investigated by experts in structural engineering and physics. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, concluded that the towers collapsed as a result of the impact of the hijacked planes, combined with the intense fires that weakened the building's structural integrity. The idea that controlled demolition was used has been debunked by experts, who point out that the collapse of the towers was consistent with the effects of the airplane impacts and subsequent fires. Similarly, the Pentagon attack and the crash of Flight 93 have been thoroughly investigated, and the evidence strongly supports the official narrative. The theory that the Pentagon was struck by a missile is inconsistent with the physical evidence, including the wreckage of Flight 77 and the accounts of eyewitnesses. The crash of Flight 93 has also been confirmed by the black box recordings and the testimony of the passengers who fought back against the hijackers. The 9/11's inside job theory persists in part because of the deep emotional impact the attacks had on people around the world. For many, the idea that the attacks were part of a larger, more sinister plan is easier to accept than the reality of a terrorist group carrying out such a devastating and tragic event. Moreover, the theory taps into broader fears about government control, secrecy, and manipulation. In a post-9/11 world, where government surveillance and military actions have become more widespread, the idea that the government would orchestrate such an event is seen by some as a plausible explanation for a series of events that changed the world. The Philadelphia experiment is one of the most bizarre and enduring conspiracy theories, suggesting that the US Navy conducted a secret experiment in 1943 to make the USS Eldridge, a naval destroyer escort, invisible to radar. According to the theory, the experiment not only rendered the ship invisible, but also caused it to travel through time, teleporting between Philadelphia and Norfolk, Virginia. The story of the Philadelphia experiment has been tied to the broader notion of time travel, government cover-ups and secret experiments, capturing the imaginations of conspiracy theorists for decades. The Philadelphia experiment first gained public attention in the 1950s, when a man named Carl Allen came forward claiming that he had witnessed the experiment while working at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. According to Allen, the US Navy had attempted to make the USS Eldridge invisible, using a new technology involving electromagnetic fields. During the experiment, the ship allegedly disappeared, traveled through time, and even experienced horrific side effects such as crew members being fused with the ship or disappearing entirely. Allen's account was published in a 1955 letter and later became the basis for books and documentaries that sought to explore the supposed secret experiment. While there is no solid evidence to support the claim, the story became a staple of conspiracy lore, especially within the realms of paranormal and science fiction communities. Over the years, the Philadelphia experiment became linked to theories of time travel and teleportation. Some believed that the technology developed during the experiment was far more advanced than anything known to science at the time, and that it allowed not only for invisibility but also for the ship to travel through time and space. Proponents of the theory point to the possibility of using electromagnetic fields and other advanced technologies to bend or manipulate the fabric of space-time, effectively allowing objects or people to move through time or teleport. While modern physics does include theories about time travel, such as Einstein's theory of relativity, which allows for time dilation under extreme conditions, the idea that the Philadelphia experiment was a successful attempt at time travel is widely regarded as a fabrication. The Philadelphia experiment conspiracy theory is often linked to a larger narrative of government secrecy and cover-ups. Proponents claim that the US Navy, or perhaps even other government agencies, had a vested interest in keeping the details of the experiment hidden from the public. According to this theory, the experiment was either so dangerous or so advanced that the government needed to suppress knowledge of it to avoid panic or to maintain control over advanced technologies. This idea ties into broader conspiracy theories about secret government projects such as the Manhattan Project, which developed the atomic bomb, or MK-Ultra, a CIA program involving mind control experiments. The Philadelphia experiment fits neatly into the worldview that governments and powerful organizations are hiding advanced knowledge from the public, whether it's about time travel, UFOs, or mind control. There is no credible evidence to support the claims of the Philadelphia experiment, and much of the story has been debunked by experts in both the fields of physics and naval history. The US Navy has consistently denied that any such experiment took place, and the ship involved, the USS Eldridge, was not even in Philadelphia during the time frame claimed by conspiracy theorists. The idea of using electromagnetic fields to manipulate time and space is at best highly speculative and has not been demonstrated by any current scientific understanding. Time travel, while a fascinating concept in science fiction, has not been proven to be possible, and the kind of teleportation described in the Philadelphia experiment is not supported by any physical laws known to science. Nevertheless, the theory persists, largely due to its dramatic and mysterious nature. The idea of time travel, especially when linked to secret government experiments, captures the imagination and offers an intriguing narrative for those fascinated by the unknown. The COVID-19 pandemic, which swept across the globe in 2020, brought with it not only health crises but also a wave of conspiracy theories. These theories range from the idea that the virus was a bioweapon created in a Chinese lab to the belief that it was part of a larger global plot to control populations. The pandemic highlighted how misinformation can spread quickly, especially in the age of social media. The first COVID-19 conspiracy theories emerged almost immediately after the virus was first reported in Wuhan, China in late 2019. Theories about the virus's origins varied, but one of the most common was the idea that the virus was intentionally created in a lab as a biological weapon, either as part of a Chinese government project or a broader international conspiracy. Others speculated that the virus was a plandemic orchestrated by powerful elites in order to control the global population, push through surveillance measures, or crash the world economy to implement a new world order. As the virus spread, conspiracy theories proliferated, with many people questioning the effectiveness of public health measures such as mask mandates and lockdowns. Some claimed that COVID-19 was a hoax or an exaggeration created by governments to manipulate populations. Others suggested that the virus was linked to 5G technology or that the pandemic was designed to usher in a new era of global control. Several conspiracy theories focus on the origins of COVID-19, particularly the claim that it was artificially created. One theory that gained traction in the early stages of the pandemic was the idea that the virus was a bioweapon engineered by the Chinese government. Proponents of this theory point to the proximity of the Wuhan Institute of Virology, a lab that studies coronaviruses, as evidence that the virus was created in a lab rather than jumping from animals to humans naturally. Another variation of the bioweapon theory suggested that the virus was part of a global plot involving multiple countries or elites. Some believed that the pandemic was deliberately unleashed to weaken economies, disrupt international relations, or enforce population control. One of the most widely circulated and persistent conspiracy theories surrounding COVID-19 is the Plandemic theory, which claims that the pandemic was deliberately orchestrated by powerful elites in order to control populations and impose new forms of government surveillance. The theory posits that the virus was either intentionally released or exaggerated to create a crisis that would allow for draconian measures, such as lockdowns, mass surveillance, and forced vaccinations. This theory gained significant attention with the release of a viral video, Plandemic, which featured discredited scientist Judy Mikovits. The video spread misinformation about the virus, its origins, and the effectiveness of vaccines, and was widely criticized by health professionals for its false claims. Despite being debunked, the Plandemic theory continued to spread, particularly among anti-vaccine and anti-government groups. Another popular conspiracy theory that gained traction during the pandemic was the idea that 5G technology was somehow linked to the spread of COVID-19. Some believed that the electromagnetic radiation emitted by 5G towers weakened the immune system, making individuals more susceptible to the virus, while others suggested that 5G was somehow the cause of the virus itself. There was no scientific basis for these claims, but the theory gained a large following, with some people even engaging in acts of vandalism, such as setting fire to 5G towers as a result of these beliefs. Social media played a central role in the spread of COVID-19 conspiracy theories. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube became hotspots for misinformation, with users sharing articles, videos, and posts that promoted false claims about the virus, its origins, and its potential cures. Algorithms on these platforms often amplified these conspiratorial messages, leading to widespread misinformation. Fact-checking organizations and public health experts worked tirelessly to combat the spread of false information, but the viral nature of social media made it difficult to contain. As the pandemic progressed, conspiracy theories about COVID-19 continued to evolve, with new and increasingly bizarre claims emerging regularly. Several psychological factors contribute to the popularity of COVID-19 conspiracy theories. First, The pandemic caused widespread fear and uncertainty, and conspiracy theories provided a way for people to make sense of the chaos. The idea that the pandemic was part of a larger plan or cover-up offered a sense of control and certainty in an otherwise unpredictable world. Additionally, the rise of distrust in government institutions, media outlets, and scientific experts has made conspiracy theories an attractive alternative for those who feel alienated or skeptical. The pandemic presented an opportunity for some to question the motives of governments and health organizations, with conspiracy theories offering an explanation for what might otherwise seem like mismanagement or confusion. Even as the world works to recover from the pandemic, COVID-19 conspiracy theories remain influential, especially in certain online communities. The virus's global reach and the rapid dissemination of misinformation through social media platforms have left a lasting impact on the way people view health, science, and government authority. The pandemic has also revealed how vulnerable societies are to misinformation and how conspiracy theories can have real-world consequences.
The theory that a fake alien invasion could be staged by world governments or other powerful entities is one of the more outlandish conspiracy ideas to have emerged in the 21st century. The premise is that governments are preparing to deceive the public into believing that extraterrestrial beings are attacking Earth in order to achieve a range of goals such as global control, social engineering, or mass manipulation. Origins and core claims. The idea of a fake alien invasion often revolves around the belief that a global conspiracy exists, involving multiple governments and international organizations, which is preparing to stage an alien invasion. This event would supposedly involve the use of advanced technology to simulate the arrival of extraterrestrial ships and beings. The motivations behind such an event are varied, but they commonly include the following. Global unity. One of the central ideas behind the fake alien invasion theory is that such an event would serve to unite the world in the face of a common enemy. Proponents argue that governments or elites could use this fake invasion to rally the global population together, erasing national borders and creating a unified world government under a new global order. Mass control and surveillance. Another claim is that the alien invasion could be used as an excuse to institute widespread surveillance programs, enhanced by new technologies that would allow governments to track individuals under the pretext of defending against alien threats. Distraction and manipulation. A fake alien invasion could be a distraction from global crises, such as economic instability, wars, or political corruption. The theory suggests that such an event would divert public attention and allow governments to carry out controversial actions without scrutiny. Technological disclosure. Some variations of the theory suggest that the alien invasion is actually a cover for the disclosure of advanced military technology, possibly reverse-engineered from extraterrestrial crafts that have been hidden from the public for decades. This could include technologies related to space travel, energy, or surveillance, which would be introduced under the guise of extraterrestrial involvement. The role of media and propaganda. The idea of a fake alien invasion has been popularized through media and entertainment, especially in the science fiction genre. Films such as Independence Day and War of the Worlds have depicted large-scale alien invasions and subsequent global unification, which may have inspired conspiracy theorists to consider the possibility of a staged event. In addition, the government's history of secrecy surrounding UFOs and extraterrestrial phenomena has fueled the belief that authorities are hiding knowledge of alien life. The release of declassified military footage showing unexplained aerial phenomena has only intensified suspicions that the government is either preparing for an alien invasion or, conversely, orchestrating one as a form of control. The media's portrayal of UFO sightings, alien abductions, and government cover-ups has created a cultural climate where many people are willing to believe that governments are capable of staging an event of such magnitude. Social media platforms have played a significant role in amplifying these beliefs, as people share videos, articles, and theories about UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters. the psychological appeal. The fake alien invasion theory resonates with a number of deep psychological fears and desires. One of the primary motivations behind the belief is the idea of cosmic significance. People want to feel that humanity is important and that extraterrestrial life exists. The thought that aliens might visit Earth taps into existential questions about the meaning of life and humanity's place in the universe. Additionally, the theory offers a dramatic and thrilling narrative that can provide an explanation for a wide range of social, political, and environmental issues. Conspiracy theories about alien invasions also provide an outlet for individuals who feel powerless or alienated from the world around them. By framing an alien invasion as a global conspiracy, believers can feel that they are in the know about a great truth that others are not aware of. The idea of a staged invasion also serves as a way for people to express their distrust of authority figures and institutions. If the government or elites are capable of faking an alien invasion, it feeds into a larger narrative about control, manipulation, and secrecy, which appeals to those who believe that the government is hiding important truths from the public. The release of footage by the US Department of Defense showing unidentified flying objects has added fuel to the theory that a real alien invasion might occur, or that the government is preparing the public for one. The US government's decision to acknowledge the existence of UAPs has caused some to speculate that the disclosure is part of a broader strategy to prepare the public for an eventual encounter with extraterrestrial life. For some conspiracy theorists, the recent increase in UFO sightings and the Pentagon's admission that it is investigating them is seen as a precursor to a staged alien event. Skeptics argue that the government's sudden openness about UFOs is a precursor to mass alien disclosure, and they see the government's silence regarding the true nature of these phenomena as evidence of a hidden agenda. There is no credible evidence to support the idea of a fake alien invasion being orchestrated by any government or global organization. While it is true that governments have historically kept information about UFO sightings and extraterrestrial encounters secret, there is no evidence that these phenomena are part of a deliberate plot to deceive the public. Additionally, the logistics of staging an alien invasion on a global scale would be extraordinarily complex and fraught with challenges. The technology required to simulate extraterrestrial ships, beings, and attacks, while also maintaining secrecy, would likely be beyond the capabilities of any government or organization. Furthermore, such a massive deception would be difficult to sustain, especially in an age where information spreads quickly via the internet and social media. Despite these logical challenges, the theory remains popular in certain circles, particularly among those who view the government's secrecy regarding UFOs as evidence that something more is being hidden. The idea of a fake alien invasion has permeated pop culture in various forms. Numerous books, films, and television shows have explored the concept of staged alien events or government cover-ups related to extraterrestrial life. For example, the 1996 movie Independence Day depicts a global alien invasion that unites humanity against a common enemy, while the X-Files series regularly explored the theme of government conspiracies involving UFOs. The rise of online communities dedicated to conspiracy theories has also helped maintain the popularity of the fake alien invasion theory. Websites, forums, and YouTube channels dedicated to UFO sightings, government cover-ups, and extraterrestrial life often intersect with those promoting the idea of a staged alien invasion. Conspiracy theories about bizarre, world-altering events have always had an allure, offering alternative explanations to the accepted narratives of history. In the 21st century, the rise of the internet and social media has allowed these theories to spread faster and more widely than ever before. While many of the conspiracy theories discussed in this script, such as the idea of a staged moon landing, the existence of a deep state, or the concept of a fake alien invasion, lack credible evidence, they continue to captivate large numbers of people. In many cases, these theories offer psychological comfort, providing simple answers to complex issues, or offering a sense of empowerment to those who feel disenfranchised or distrustful of authority. Whether it's questioning scientific consensus or imagining shadowy elites pulling the strings behind the scenes, these theories speak to our fears, desires, and need to understand the world around us. While critical thinking and skepticism are essential in navigating the flood of misinformation in the digital age, it is equally important to acknowledge why these theories resonate with people. They highlight the need for transparency, accountability, and open dialogue in a world where the truth is often difficult to discern. The future of conspiracy theories will likely be shaped by ongoing technological advancements, political changes, and global events. As new narratives emerge, one thing remains clear: conspiracy theories will continue to play a significant role in shaping the way we perceive the world around us.